Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another spicy video with Lucius Cole. If you like this type of content, go down below, like, subscribe, share, and of course, leave a comment if you think I deserve it. Join the Cole Factory today. Our army is rising up to almost 500 members. With that said, we are going to be talking about mandates today, ladies and gentlemen. But what type of mandates? Not just mask mandates, guys. We're going to be talking about vaccine mandates. I kid you not. Now, I have to be very selective with my speech here, so you're going to have to read between the lines given the algorithm and the current censorship going on with these big tech media oligarchs. With all of that said, both of the candidates actually showing their supposed position, I'm able to pin down what Donald Trump thinks on this. Should the American people be forced to take a vaccine, as well as Joe Biden? Would he go out and force a mandate to force the American people to take a vaccine? Now, for those of you who don't actually know, there is an actual case on this subject, whether or not the U.S. government is allowed to actually force vaccinate the citizenry.
You appeared recently and said it would be okay for the government to force us to be vaccinated.
Yeah.
You back that up legally?
Yes. If the vaccine is safe and effective and necessary. Remember, the government could never force you to take a vaccine to protect yourself. If they developed a vaccine against heart disease or cancer, you and I, Larry, would take that vaccine because we wanted to, but they couldn't make us do it.
Now, do I actually think it's going to get to this point? No, I do not. But I do believe that we should understand that this is a possibility, and maybe you should just entertain that fact before you go out into the voting booth and who you decide to vote for, ultimately. With that said, all of this is absolutely nuts. And for those of you who haven't seen the Joe Biden town hall at this point, he actually addressed this issue. And here's the clip.
Once we get it, if it's safe, if it's effective, will you mandate its use?
The answer is depending on how clear.
2 very boring minutes later.
Depending on the continuation of the spread of the virus, we should be thinking about making it mandatory.
How could you enforce that?
We have to be thinking about making a mandate? Is that what Joe Biden just said? Forcing the American people to take something that has been streamlined, pushed forward in just under a year, the fastest vaccine in the history of the world, and yet on faith, we're just supposed to take it? Okay. Now, for the record, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I think it makes sense to have things for like smallpox and measles. When I was in the military, I mean, they filled me full of so many shots I can't even remember. But with that said, how exactly are you going to mandate this on the American people? How are you going to force them? Are you going to go around with goon squads and just start forcing people to take something? Joe Biden addresses this, but it gets even worse, guys.
Well, you couldn't. That's the problem. Just like you can't enforce measles. You can't come to school unless you have a measles shot. You can't. But you can't say everyone has to do this. But you would, just like you can't mandate a mask. But you can say, you can go to every governor and get them all in a room, all 50 of them as president, and say, ask people to wear the mask. Everybody knows.
And if they don't, fines?
And they don't, no, not fine. Then I go to every governor, I go to every mayor, I go to every councilman, I go to every local official, say, mandate the mask.
I'm sorry. I'm a little kerfuffled, Joe Biden. You're telling me that you're going to go around to every state and to every official and tell them to mandate the masks of their particular states? You're saying that you can't do it federally, so what you're going to do is individually go to each governor and tell them to mandate a mask when you're out? You're telling me that if those governors then say, no, we're not going to do that, we're not going to force an American citizen to wear something, that you're going to then supersede them and go into smaller districts and tell them what to do? What? I can't even believe this line of thinking. It is so perplexing, the amount of God power. I mean, is this guy want to be president or does he want to be a king? Because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like edict. It sounds like, hey, let's get each other into a backroom deal, and if you don't do what I tell you, you know what's going to happen. This is gross. This is tyranny. And I believe me, guys, listen. I understand. I recognize that the Koof is a real thing. I also understand that it is not this mass hysteria that's been pushed out by the MSM for months. Pushing out this fear. And the American public taking it hook, line, and sinker. We are the few in this part. People that watch videos like this, they aren't in that line of thinking. We don't change our lives based on fear. We change our lives based on logic. Something that you can't even cite the CDC numbers on these media companies anymore. What is going on, guys? And I know you're probably asking yourself, what does Donald Trump have to say? Please, 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 praise Keck. Praise Keck. Come on, friends. Don't do it. Don't do it, Mr. President. Don't. Daddy, please. Please, don't make us do the shots. Please, Daddy, I want candy. Take a look.
Would you get a vaccine for every American by year end or just essential workers? Who would get it first?
Well, I'd get it to essential workers and older people. I don't believe I'd ever do a mandated vaccine because I just don't think I would be in. I just don't think I would do that where you have to have it because there are some people feel very strongly about that whole situation.
USA, USA, USA. Check this out. Pretty cool, right? Got a nice little American eagle and the flag on there. Whoo. Nice little piece of Americana. With that said, Donald Trump once again standing up for individual liberties, standing up for liberty, standing up for the American people, standing up for rights, standing up for us. And of course, the lefties are losing their collective minds, calling him a fascist, an evil dictator. But Joe Biden really does sound like a king, that overwhelming God power as he proclaims to us, the little people, what we must do with our own bodies. I thought it was, guys, I thought it was my body, my choice. Guys, my body, my choice, guys. Enough of the comedy, guys. If you enjoyed this type of content, my name is Lucius Cole. Go down below, like, subscribe, share, and of course comment if you think I deserve it. Cole Factory is growing 500 subscribers strong. We are getting there, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you guys in the next video. I love all you patriots. I will see you on the front lines. Peace. Coltrane. Choo-choo!